Martha Berger was born in Stamford, Connecticut in the 50s and grew up in Wilmington, Delaware. Her earliest mentor was her father, the man who helped shape her executive dreams later in life.
I can remember him coming home from work, and he carpooled, and when he would get home and my mom and dad would have the cocktail hour before dinner, he would tell stories about the office and what he thought about the way things ran and things that he might do better. And he and I just would always visit about the office and what went on there, and I was fascinated by his stories.
What was Martha Berger like when she was a kid, growing up on the East Coast?
I was one of those kids that always made A's but then got graded down because I talked too much. And we all know those kids in elementary school that were like that. I was a cheerleader in high school, of all things, and I look back on that as one of the most fun times in my life, and then I kind of turned into a bit of a rebel. I guess when I went away to college, I went to the Midwest, but took my Eastern, 60s liberal persona with me and tried to change all the rules when I went to college.
It is not surprising, growing up in such a loving family, that Martha describes her older sister as her dearest friend.
I lost my mom when I was in college. She was 51 when she died. So I think that really made my sister and I even closer, as I was in the Midwest going to school, she was back east raising a family, so it was kind of up to us to keep our family together.
She started out in journalism at the University of Missouri, but decided that wasn't for her. She transferred to Oklahoma State and graduated with a degree in medical technology. Not making enough money, she later went to night school at UCO and got her degree in accounting. Martha reflects on her early days at Chesapeake.
It was interesting. When I started at Chesapeake, there were less than 100 employees, and I was originally hired as the revenue accounting manager. So my background is in finance, and that is the position that I took at Chesapeake. And what I saw was perhaps revenue accounting wasn't going to be my future, but I really thought that company was cool. I got a chance, I interviewed with Aubrey McClendon, the CEO, and I just thought, this is a person whose star that I want to hitch my wagon to. And I did. Ultimately, through a kind of circuitous way, I guess, I grew up in the finance world at Chesapeake and became treasurer ultimately. Then when my job responsibilities expanded to include HR and then some more, I felt like something had to give. And so I really chose the people part of the business and my career in human resources.
Martha's private life is filled with caring for others. She loves animals and is on the board of the Humane Society. She serves on the board of trustees for OCU and has been honored with the Distinguished Alumni Award from the Meinders School of Business at OCU, the OCU Award of Excellence in Philanthropy, and established the Martha Berger Career Services Center at OCU.
The more that I know about health and wellness for our employees at Chesapeake, the more I learn about the health of Oklahomans. And to me, if we don't do something about that, we are really doing a disservice to the state. And we need, as a state, to come together and work to make our citizens healthier.
Martha is a voracious reader, loves the arts, and loves to be a spectator at sporting events. But none of these compare to her love of her family. She talks about one of her biggest regrets.
My dad lived to be 86, and I lost him a few years ago, and I did have opportunities to spend time with him really right up until the time he died, but still, it was only a couple or 3 times a year. And I think that makes me regretful, although certainly he was really proud of my accomplishments and wouldn't have changed that for the world.
A person of faith, Martha plans to stay right where she is at Chesapeake, but feels a calling to make a difference on a larger scale when bad things happen in the world and people need help. She feels she could be the project manager of that effort. Smart, sensitive, and intelligent, this beautiful woman is making a difference wherever she goes, which is why Martha Berger is the beneficiary of Oklahoma City University's Meinders School of Business Outstanding Achievement Award.